summer, the St. Louis Public Library opened a great new exhibit that allows you to immerse yourself in the world of classic children's literature and epic fantasies. Joining me from the St. Louis Public Library are Executive Director Waller McGuire and Illustrator Matt Reedy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for talking to us.
Yes, thanks for having us on.
So this is great because first of all, I love maps and I love that you have come up with this idea to curate this exhibit all based around fantasy maps. So Waller, why don't you just kind of set the stage for us?
Well, the library is full of amazing things, of course, and you wouldn't necessarily expect a public library to have a map collection, and we have one of the world's great map collections, 300,000 maps. So we started talking about what we could do with it, how we could let people know what exciting things it holds, and we started talking about fantasy maps, science fiction, fantasy fiction, all kinds of books that have amazing maps that tell you about an imagined world. We thought it would be really great to reimagine St. Louis and thought about it a while. We've worked with Matt a number of times, and lo and behold, it was possible. So we have St. Louis reimagined all the way across the Great Hall floor. It's pretty amazing.
Wow, so we're going to take, we just are starting to look at photos of this. So Matt, here you come with the creative part, right?
Yeah.
So the library says we want to see St. Louis reimagined, and you put this all together from the creative standpoint. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was a kind of a collaborative effort. We started with different options of what the fantasy map meant. We showed some options that were more traditional fantasy map, castles, stuff like that. And then we kind of landed on, I started with one building. I started with the library itself, the library made out of books. So we said, well, that'd be great. And we'll see how that spills out across other landmarks. So say Crown Candy Kitchen is made out of candy, so on and so forth. It gets a little bit more difficult as they added on. We had to do a lot of research, say Eads Bridge, for example. One of my coworkers, Chase, he did some research into it and found out when they first opened the Eads Bridge to ease people's minds of how sturdy it was, they paraded an elephant across. Mm-hmm. So I made the Eads Bridge out of elephants.
Let's throw up a graphic again so people can see this as we're talking about it, because this isn't your traditional map. You're seeing the illustrations of it, and then talk about it. It's an interactive. This is more than just the exhibit at the library. There's an interactive component to it. Yes. In
a way, it's a huge puzzle because you have to figure out what you're looking at. Very often, Matt made clever caricatures and reinventions of St. Louis, but you can also visit the actual places themselves. We have clues to send you out and find the elements on the map within St. Louis. So you can go out with your smartphone and take a picture of the place you end up, and it's a contest in its own way. We thought of it as sort of spending the summer being a tourist in your own town. St. Louis is full of amazing places and things, and so we wanted to feature them on this map. We keep getting in trouble with places we didn't manage to get on the map.
We heard that right before we started here,
We
right?
did, yes. But that's a good thing. We'd love to feature more in the future.
Yes. No, I love it, and I love the idea. And I've actually got, let's talk about this map. This is the physical copy of, you've got on the floor there a 75-foot map at the library, but people can now get this. Tell me about this element.
Yeah, so this is, they just now offered this. It's now a take-home souvenir, basically, so you can unfold it. And, I think it's kind of fun to kind of look at the locations first and try to guess at what they are, but if you get stumped, you could turn to the back, and there's a legend on the back, and then gives plenty of information about each. There's a lot of research
and
that
this
went
makes
into this.
a great, even like for framing or a great poster to hang out.
We know there are a couple of them on people's walls already, and we've only had them done for about 3 days now. So they're beautiful things. We're really proud of them too.
Yeah, well, before we wrap things up, I have to ask you, how long did it take you to do all this? You can be honest here.
It's hard to say. It takes about, for each location, probably took about 2 hours just from concept to finish art, so then you could just multiply that by
we owe his family a huge apology.
Yeah.
It was last year of your life.
Yeah.
But it's really neat. It's
Thank
really,
you.
really neat.
Thank you.
We've got the information there on the screen. It's Fantasy Maps, Imagined Worlds. It's this fabulous new exhibit at the St. Louis Public Library, at the Central Library, I should emphasize specifically. You can find out more at SLPL.org. It runs now through October 15th, but don't go anywhere because there's actually a whole other component to the exhibit that we haven't gotten to. So stay with us. We'll have more with the St. Louis Public Library right after this.